Venus is moving through the sign of Taurus in the month of April, and it's making some unusual transits this time. This transit is not about love or money on the surface. This is about what we truly value and what we're willing to hold into and what we're finally ready to release. At the beginning of this transit, I would say the first 10 days, we're going to have a square from Venus to Pluto, which can bring a lot of intensity. We may feel triggered around relationships, finances, power, control. Situations can arise that force us to confront where we've been holding on too tightly or where we've been giving our power away. Obsessions, jealousy, deep desires, all of it can come to the surface so it can be transformed. As the transit unfolds, Venus is going to continue to make a sextile to Jupiter, which is exalted in the sign of Cancer. Now, Venus is strong, it is dignified in Taurus, and then Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. We have the two benefics making this positive, wonderful aspect to each other, and I feel like this is going to bring some wonderful blessings our way. This is my favorite transit of the month. Everything else in the month of April is crazy, but this moment right here is my favorite one. And we're gonna feel this energy the most in the middle of the month. This is where growth, ease, and opportunity begins to flow in, and we can feel more supported, more optimistic, and more aligned with what truly nourishes us. Relationships can soften here, financial opportunities can appear, and we start to see the bigger picture. There's a sense here that things can work out and that we're worthy of abundance and stability. Now, as Venus continues in the sky, by April 23, 24, it's going to make one last conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Taurus because Uranus is moving just a couple of days later into the sign of Gemini, and we're not going to have these two planets coming together again in the next 84, 85 years. So, I don't know about you, but by that time, I probably won't be alive. So, this is going to be like one last conjunction that these two planets are making here. And remember, Venus is strong and powerful in the sign of Taurus. So I feel like we're gonna have some unexpected changes here. One last chance. This is the 29th degree where this is happening. It's a critical degree. A lot of us are gonna have sudden changes in love, in money, in values, and relationships that can really shake us out of our comfort zone. Some things may come in quickly, others may just leave as fast, but all of it is pushing us towards something greater and more authentic. So I feel like this transit is a journey from intensity to expansion and then to liberation. And then don't forget, my dear Astro family, as Uranus moves into the sign of Gemini, Venus will join it very soon too. Venus is making a trine to Pluto by the end of April. So it starts with a square in the beginning of April and then it ends with a trine. So I feel like whatever challenges we may experience, control issues, intensity, confrontations, and things like that, I feel like it's going to end up in a better note. And remember that Uranus is going to continue to make a positive aspect to Pluto for 3 years, 4 years, something like that. I do have a video up for that beautiful aspect that Uranus is making to Pluto and to Neptune. So please check that out. It's called angelic protection because that's what it really is. God is really protecting us with this energy. But exciting times are coming ahead of us. But I feel like in April we have to make some drastic decisions and we're going to experience maybe some sort of intensity, power struggles, jealousy, secrets exposed, and a lot of things are going to be brought to the surface. But at the same time, of course, we're going to have massive changes, one last chance to change something very significant into our lives, and also opportunities for blessings. Now, before I start with the 12 zodiac signs, remember I'm a Western astrologer. I follow tropical zodiac. If you want to show some support for my work, you can like, subscribe, hype this video up, share it with people that you think are looking for this kind of instruction in their life. It really, really helps me. And then if you want to get a reading from me, remember I have my website. The link is in the description box. You can book a reading with me. I'd be very excited to help a lot of you during this transit. I'm working very hard on the readings right now, staying up at night because I feel like this time is very very significant for a lot of people. So I want to be there for you. But now let's start with the 12 zodiac signs and what this transit can bring for us. Aries suns, moons, and risings. Venus for you is transiting your second house in the sign of Taurus, and of course, that is very strong and powerful in this sign and in this house. But Venus is not having a usual transit here. On the first part of its presence in this sign, it is going to be in a square to Pluto in Aquarius. And then as it continues in the sky, it's going to be in a sextile to Jupiter. And then in the end, it's going to be in a conjunction to Uranus. So it's making some very significant and powerful aspects here. But let's talk about the first part. So when Venus squares Pluto, there could be some intense shifts around money, income, and self worth. They could be triggered by friendships, by networks, or social media. Some of you may experience power struggles or jealousy within a friend group tied to maybe financial status, to success, or to values. For some of you, there can be a realization that certain friends are misaligned with your values or growth, or you could have maybe some sort of obsessive thoughts about money, about stability, or you may be comparing yourself to other people. There's definitely going to be some push for some of you to monetize something that is connected to your network or audience, but it will come with some sort of pressure. On a lighter note, for some of you, this transit here of Venus squaring Pluto maybe will bring some deep conversations with a friend of yours or a partner, especially around shared values, loyalty, trust, shared income, shared resources. There can be some sort of financial controls issues here also brought to the surface, but they are coming to the surface so that it can be resolved, that you can come with some sort of resolution here. Now, moving forward, in the middle of this transit, Venus is going to be in a sextile to Jupiter. So I would say this will be around the middle of the month. This is a beautiful transit here because Jupiter it's in a very positive aspect. Venus is also very strong here. So we have the two benefics in excellent positions in the sky and also forming a connection to each other. And this can really indicate that for some of you, there can be very strong opportunities to increase your income, maybe through your family support, maybe through some home based work or real estate. For others of you, this transit can feel like an emotionally secure period with positively impacts for your self-worth and your personal finances. Some of you may be investing in your home, in your comfort or environment in a way that feels abundant and aligned. You may have harmonious conversations with family members about money, about stability or future plans, and you might even be attracting very strong financial opportunities that feel safe, that feel nurturing and sustainable. You do have the potential here to also earn through creative or Venusian talents in a comfortable setting. So, if you've been wanting to launch something, start something, this could definitely be the time. Now, moving forward, Venus, by the end of this transit, so I would say the third week of April, that's when the energy is going to feel the most. This conjunction is exact on April 24th, but remember that we feel the energy as it's building up. So I would say 3 days before this, 3 days after, it's going to be very strong. So Venus comes in the conjunction to Uranus, and here is when a lot of you will expect sudden and unexpected changes when it comes to income, finances, or spending habits. There could be a surprise financial opportunity or loss for some of you, but I feel like it could be opportunity because Venus again is very strong here, but that it will push a lot of you towards freedom and personal independence. You may be breaking away from old value systems, realizing what truly matters to you has actually changed. Some of you might be even experimenting with new ways of making money, especially through online and unconventional paths or even with freelancing. And then on the more like challenging side, some of you could make impulsive purchases, especially on unique things, on technology, on luxury items, items that like are to beautify your physical body and things like that. For some of you, my dear Aries, around this time, you might even meet someone because remember, Venus rules your seventh house. You can do so unexpectedly, but this person can shift your values or financial mindset. Okay, this is like a quick review of what I think this is going to bring to you, my dear Aries. I wish you the best of luck. Remember, if you want to show some support for my video, you can like, subscribe, hype it up, and share this video with people that you think are going to benefit from this. Wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Taurus suns, moons, and risings. Venus is finally transiting your sign through your first house, and it is very strong here and powerful. But it does make some significant transits that are kind of unusual. The first one, of course, is the square that Venus is making towards Pluto, which it will be making for the rest of, you know, 17 years now, 18 years now, every time it transits your sign, because Pluto is in Aquarius, so it will always form these squares. But what is very special is that it's also going to create a sextile to Jupiter by the middle of this transit. So I would say by the middle of the month, that can be very strong and powerful for you. And then by the end, it will make a conjunction to Uranus, which is still in your sign. This is the last conjunction we're going to have when Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. So that's why this is again very significant. Please remember to check out my April astrology predictions, April horoscopes for your sign. I do talk a lot about this last conjunction between Venus and Uranus. Now, let's start back from the beginning. At the first part of this transit, we will have Venus square Pluto. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be an intense pressure between your personal identity and public image or career. You may experience power struggles with authority figures, with bosses, or people in position of control. I feel like this transit is teaching you, not just now, but also for the next 17, 18 years, my dear Taurus, to let go of fear or to experience fear, to feel it, and to still take action even though you feel the fear. So you are learning about breaking free of any type of control, any type of power struggles with authority figures, with partners, with people that have some sort of control in your life. Others of you might have this deep urge to like reinvent yourself, but it could be triggered through external tension. You may be obsessing maybe over how you're perceived publicly versus who you are in reality. Some of you might have some sort of transformation in your appearance, in your style, or personal branding that is driven by career demands. Others of you might experience a breaking point where you refuse to compromise your authenticity for success, especially for those of you that have a temptation to do some sort of corruption to keep the power in your job, in your career. You're going to have some sort of breaking point here to maybe you are going to refuse that. I feel like a lot of you are going to refuse to be part of something that you shouldn't be part of. You might even realize that your work environment may be draining your confidence or self-worth, and you're going to feel prompted to kind of change them or fix that, or maybe look for a new job or look for a new work environment. Make some sort of shift here, because again, Venus in your sign is going to want to reinvent your identity, and it is very strong here. So especially when we get to that sextile to Jupiter, that's when you're going to have the most opportunity to improve your life, improve your situation in a way that you want and in a way that benefits you. So talking about that sextile, when we get there by the middle of the month, Venus here communicating with such a beautiful way with Jupiter, which is also exalted. Okay, they're both in very strong positions. It's going to bring increased confidence, charm, and ease in communication. For a lot of you, you can have opportunities to express yourself authentically, maybe through speaking, through writing, through content creation. Some of you might get positive news, contracts, or conversations that boost both your self esteem and daily workflow. You may be strengthening relationships with siblings, peers, or your local environment. You may feel optimistic, supported, and emotionally open in your interactions to other people. There could be some sort of growth in your personal brand through sharing your voice or ideas if you do have a personal brand. You may experience a smoother and more enjoyable daily routine that aligns with your values. Some of you may be attracting opportunities through networking, through learning, or short distance trips. Words carry power around this time. What you say can now really open doors to you. So be mindful of that and use this energy to your benefit. Now, let me quickly talk about the last part, the conjunction between Venus and Uranus. This is going to be exact around April 24, but as I say in all of my videos, remember the energy is felt 3 days before and 3 days after. So I would say like for the whole third week, of April, you're going to experience this energy the most. There's going to be some sort of sudden and noticeable change in your appearance around this time, around your identity or personal direction. There can be a strong urge to break free from old versions of yourself. You might have this strong reinvention energy, again, that is inspired a lot through that square to Pluto and then the sextile. There could be things happening around you, but also, especially within you, that is really helping you and pushing you and inspiring you to make a massive change in your career, in your identity, and your entire life direction. You may be acting more independently, more unpredictably, or authentically than usual. Others might perceive you as exciting, as different, or even shocking as well. There might also be some sort of unexpected encounters or attractions that feel electric and fast moving. But for most of you, there's also going to be a strong desire to detach from your routines that can feel limiting or outdated. Expect some sort of liberation moment where you're going to choose freedom over comfort, or you're going to choose to make some sort of spontaneous decision about your look, about your body, or your personal path. So this conjunction here, my dear Taurians, is very, very powerful. It is the last one. Again, it is happening at the last degree, the 29 degree of Taurus. Very meaningful for a lot of you. I feel like it's going to be one last chance to radically change your life in a way that it's going to be unrecognizable, but it also wraps up the entire 6 years, 7 years that Uranus has been in your sign. So this is your last chance for a massive reinvention that will stay with you as now Uranus moves into the sign of Gemini and also Venus does the same. This is what I have for you, my dear Taurians. Please remember to show some support for my work. It really, really helps me. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on my next video. Gemini, suns, moons, and risings. Venus is transiting through your 12th house in the sign of Taurus, which it rules and it's very strong in, making some significant aspects. First to Pluto, which is transiting your 9th house, and then to Jupiter, which is in your 2nd house, and then to Uranus, which is also in your 12th house. So this is not going to be a usual Venus in Taurus type of transit. We do have some significant alignments here. But what can this look like for you? First, when Venus squares Pluto, which we will feel the most in the first 10 days of April, it is going to bring some deep emotional or subconscious triggers, especially connected to beliefs, to spirituality, or to your life direction. You might be questioning long-held beliefs, especially around love, creativity, or what brings you joy. There might be some sort of hidden fears or obsessions surfacing around trust, around faith, or meaning for you. You might have a feeling of being spiritually or emotionally tested, especially in privacy, like, hidden from the public eye, in your solitude, basically. There can be secret attractions for some of you, or connections that can feel very intense, very obsessive, very karmic, and complicated. For others of you, you might have maybe power struggles that are tied to different values, ideologies, or cultural perspectives. And these power struggles can come especially with your romantic interests or even your children, like maybe you don't agree on the same thing, so you can have some conversations here that are a little intense, that could be happening again in privacy, but that are tied to different beliefs that you have. Some of you are going to have some sort of realizations that maybe some dreams or fantasies need to be transformed, they need to be released, maybe they're not good for you, maybe you have obsessed over them, so you kind of need to release and let go of those. For others of you, this transit can indicate letting go of some sort of karmic relationship or karmic financial entanglement, especially that is tied to dependency issues. You might need to release that, to let go. And it's coming from a tense situation. It's not that it's going to be easy to release, but there's some sort of clash, some sort of confrontation, some sort of need to talk about differing ideas or different belief systems around these financial entanglements. Okay, so now moving forward, Venus is going to make a sextile to Jupiter. It leaves this square to Pluto and it embraces this beautiful aspect to Jupiter, which, as we know, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, Venus is strong in Taurus. So now we have the two benefics coming together in such a positive aspect. This can talk about wonderful blessings for a lot of you. You might have quiet but powerful opportunities for financial growth or some sort of stability behind the scenes. You may be healing your relationship with your self-worth and money on a subconscious level. You may be feeling more at peace, more supported, more spiritually aligned. You might feel more connected with God, with the universe. Any sort of spiritual practice you do around this time that can be very significant for you. It can bring financial abundance your way, maybe some sort of promotion even for some of you. Income or resources flowing through indirect channels or private efforts are definitely a possibility around this time. You might be investing in rest, in healing, in solitude that actually increases your value and your energy. There can be some sort of gentle boost in your self-confidence, even if it's not outwardly visible yet. Some of you might have creative inspiration flowing in solitude, which is great, to be honest, for writing, for creating, for art, or even just some sort of reflection. This can be a good time to write in your journal because maybe it's going to come out very nice, very beautiful when you go back to this and read it years later down the line. Again, a lot of you might be letting go of scarcity mindset and you may be embracing a more abundant inner narrative. Any acts of kindness, generosity, or spiritual practices that you do around this time can definitely bring tangible rewards. Good karma can be coming back to you. I actually advise that you do. Okay, now lastly, let's talk about the conjunction between Venus and Uranus. I've talked about this one in my April horoscopes for all the signs. Please go to my channel, check that video out for your sign as well. There's a video only for you. But I feel like for this conjunction here, again, it's very meaningful. It's the last one that we're gonna have with Uranus and Taurus, but it can bring sudden insights, sudden breakthroughs, or aha moments about your patterns in love and creativity. You may experience unexpected endings or closures that feel fated, but ultimately freeing. Some of you may be breaking out of self-sabotaging habits or unconscious cycles. You might have vivid dreams, intuitive downloads, or even heightened psychic sensitivity. There's going to be a desire here to withdraw, maybe to unplug or detach from external noise, because you're having a deep realization about your entire life, about your finances, about your need to maybe release something karmic that should not come with you for when Uranus moves into your sign. Really, there's a need to let go of a lot of things here, my dear Geminis, and I do advise you to do so. Release, let go, embrace freedom, because when Uranus enters your sign, it's going to bring powerful changes, shifts, dramatic changes that are going to make you unrecognizable. So whatever needs to be left behind, you should leave it behind, and this conjunction is here to help you do that. I wish you the best of luck, my dear Geminis, for this transit, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Cancer suns, moons, and risings. Venus is transiting through your 11th house in the sign of Taurus in a dignified position. It is very strong here as it rules this sign, but it's also making some significant aspects. It will start to make a square to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius for the first 10 days. That's when we're going to feel this the most. And then as it leaves the square, it makes a sextile to Jupiter, which is exalted in your sign. This can be extremely positive for you, my dear Cancers. I will explain this to you in a little bit. But as then Venus continues in the sky, it leaves this sextile and then it makes a conjunction to Uranus, which will be the last one with Uranus in this sign. So again, we will have an opportunity here to make some significant change. So this is not a usual transit of Venus in the sign of Taurus. This is actually a very, very significant one. So let me break it down a little bit more. As Venus makes a square to Pluto, again, the first 10 days of April, this is when we're going to feel this the most. It is going to make some situations here that will bring intense dynamics within friendships of or groups, especially to topics tied to trust, to loyalty, and shared resources. For some of you, there could be power struggles here over money, over emotional investment, or who gives more in a connection. Some of you might be realizing that certain friendships may be feeling draining, controlling, or energetically heavy. Don't be surprised if you experience some sort of jealousy, possessiveness, or secrecy surfacing in your social circle or the organization that you work at, if you work in a company. Yeah, that could definitely be happening here. Some of you might experience transformation maybe in your long term goals due to some sort of financial or emotional entanglements. You may even be forced to confront deeper fears, especially around vulnerability and dependence on other people. This is going to be your aha moment to kind of understand where you are being dependent on. And then as Venus goes into that conjunction to Uranus, maybe you're going to take some action to liberate yourself from some sort of entanglement. Okay, so now moving forward, in the middle of the month, this is where we're going to have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. Again, this can be life changing for you, my dear Cancers. Jupiter is exalted in your sign, Venus is very strong in Taurus, it rules this sign. So this can be life changing, okay? You might experience some sort of increased popularity, some sort of support, and magnetism in some sort of social setting. Friends or networks could be uplifting your confidence and sense of self. You might have opportunities coming even through connections that maybe are going to align with who you are becoming. This sextile here can also make you feel more emotionally open, more optimistic, and even seen for who you truly are. But you do come across as charming, as optimistic, and exciting, and beautiful, and gracious. So this can be very positive for you. You might be attracting like minded individuals who do reflect your values and authenticity. There's a harmonious balance here between your personal needs and group involvement. So that's why you're probably going to be in the middle of people, or you're going to catch the attention of the people that appreciate you for who you are, value you for your character, and who you are as an individual. Networking here can bring a lot of expansion, a lot of visibility, new beginnings, a new rebranding of yourself or your character, of your life direction. This can be very significant for you. You could be rising to power, getting some sort of leadership position. For some of you, you might get some sort of spotlight here that is very, very positive and kind of resets your brand in a positive direction. So please take advantage of this energy, my dear Cancers. If you need to launch something, this could be a great time to do so. In the middle of the month, we're also going to have Mars in Aries, which is also in a very strong position. So yeah, like we're going to have some very good planets here to launch and start something very, very impactful. Now, moving forward, we're going to have Venus as it leaves the sextile coming to a conjunction to Uranus still in your 11th house. And this is a very significant conjunction because it's literally on the last degree of Taurus at 29 degrees, and it's going to be the last one with Uranus in this sign. So here's an opportunity for a lot of you to change for one last time your friendships, your network, circles, your groups or community involvement, your organization that you work at. You're gonna have a sudden change here to shift and change things. Maybe you're gonna even meet people here unexpectedly, or meet people that are unconventional, that kind of shift your perspective and change your life goals, your long term goals. For some of you, this conjunction is going to bring this desire to maybe break free from outdated social roles or expectations. For others of you, this can bring surprising opportunities through social media, through technology, through large networks, by reaching the masses. If you're launching something online, this can be very positive for you, can bring some sort of sudden opportunity, like sudden spotlight and even fame, I would say popularity. You might have this strong desire to end some sort of friendship here or to form a new one in a very quick way, but in a way that it will shift your long term goals and it will help you embrace something more authentic and liberating. So, this aspect, like this entire month, can be very significant for you, my dear Cancers. But this is what I have for you. I wish you the best of luck. Remember to show some support for my work. That really, really means a lot to me. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Leo suns, moons, and risings. Venus transiting the sign of Taurus through your 10th house is not a usual transit this time. The reason for that is because it's going to make a square to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, which is transiting your 7th house. And then as the few days go by, it's going to be in a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer, which is exalted. And then by the end of the transit, is going to make one last conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your 10th house at 29 degrees, which is a very, very significant conjunction here. So it's not that Venus is going through this sign smoothly. It's actually activating very important points here, and especially for you, my dear Leos. Venus here is very strong though. It does rule the sign of Taurus, so you're going to have some challenges, but at the same time, you're going to be achieving some good things. Now, let me start from the beginning. The first 10 days of April, I would say we're going to feel that square that Venus is making to Pluto a lot. And again, for you, this can show up as power struggles in your career versus your relationships. You may be feeling pulled towards your professional goals, but at the same time, partnership dynamics. Some of you might have intense interactions, maybe with clients, with partners, or the public, that kind of challenges your authority or your image. There can be a relationship for some of you, maybe influencing your career decisions in a deep or controlling way. And then for others of you, you may become hyper aware of how other people perceive you, especially when it comes to one on one dynamics. Some of you might receive some sort of magnetic but intense visibility. People may be watching you, they may be reacting towards you, they may be forming strong opinions. Some of you will look up to you. You gain some sort of popularity, some sort of fame, but again, it is in a some sort of obsession type of fame or spotlight. And then for a few of you, you might be realizing under this energy that maybe certain relationships sabotage your success, and therefore you need to have some sort of clash here, some sort of important conversation, so that you set certain boundaries. Okay, so let's move forward into that sextile that Venus is making towards Jupiter, and this is going to be in the middle of the month. This sextile here talks about a very positive thing for you, my dear Leos, because it is happening between your 10th and 12th houses. So even though there's a lot of dynamics maybe happening in your career, at your job, in your spotlight, in your fame, in the way other people see you, there are also people who give you quite support, maybe some sort of protection even, or opportunities that are unfolding behind your back, behind the scenes. People could be really supporting you and you don't even know it. For others of you, this sextile here can indicate that you may have some sort of career growth that feels aligned with your inner peace and emotional well being. A lot of beneficial connections can definitely be formed privately or in low key environments. Some of you maybe are going to have some sort of affair that is hidden from the public eye, but that brings some sort of healing, some sort of fulfillment, spiritual fulfillment. I will say that a lot of you will definitely have the chance to maybe step back and reflect and realign with your entire career and your deeper purpose that you have in this lifetime. You might be letting go of stress or pressure around your public image, around visibility, recognition, and success. A lot of you at the same time are going to have opportunities here in this moment to kind of heal your relationships at the same time. Now, moving forward, by the end of this transit, which I'm talking about April 23, 24, Venus is going to make the conjunction to Uranus. And I've already posted a video for this conjunction, so please make sure to check out your April horoscope for your sign. Because you'll have more details there. But this conjunction here can talk about unexpected changes in your career, in your direction, in your reputation and public status. This is your one last time, my dear Leos, to make massive changes when it comes to your career, the way how you're known into the world. And the reason for that is because Uranus is now moving into the sign of Gemini just a couple of days later. And so this is your chance here to make one last change, big change. And this is a 29 degree, this is a critical degree. And at the same time, Venus is very strong here. Again, it is giving you a sign to maybe make one last chance, one last opportunity, maybe to break free from even traditional expectations when it comes to your role in your career. A lot of you will decide to take a more authentic and independent path when it comes to your career. You might have surprising opportunities involving maybe innovation, technology, unconventional work. Some of you will gain popularity as astrologers as well. Again, around this time, expect unexpected recognition or attention. I can even see a lot of you maybe going viral or standing out suddenly. It will take you by surprise, and it will also take other people by surprise. So some great things could be happening for a lot of you. But again, remember, Venus is very strong here, so I feel like it's going to be more on the positive side. But of course, it's going to depend on your chart. I wish you the best of luck, my dear Leos, and I'll see you on the next video. Virgo suns, moons, and risings. Venus is making an unusual transit through the sign of Taurus this time because it is starting to make a square to Pluto as soon as it enters this sign. Now that I'm posting this video, Venus is currently in Taurus and we already feel the square. But as Venus continues to move in the sky, it's going to then make a beautiful aspect to Jupiter, which is exalted in the sign of Cancer. So now we have the two benefics coming together in a very powerful transit here. And aspect, Venus is strong in Taurus, it rules this sign, it is the queen of this house. And then you have Jupiter, which is exalted in Cancer. So this can be a very, very positive period in this crazy month of April that we have coming up. But then as Venus continues in the sky, it is going to end its transit here in a conjunction to Uranus, in one last conjunction actually to Uranus, because Uranus is moving into the sign of Gemini and so will do Venus. But now this is the last conjunction, 29 degrees for our lifetime that these two planets are meeting together. The next time that they're going to meet in this sign is going to be like in 84, 85 years. So this is going to be one last chance to change something significant. But let me start in a chronological order here. my dear Virgos. In the first 10 days, I feel like we're going to really feel that square between Venus and Pluto. There's going to be a tension for you between your belief systems and your daily routines and work environment. You might feel a little mentally or spiritually drained by your job, by your obligations, or any type of unhealthy habit or addiction that you may have. Some of you might experience and witness power struggles, maybe in the workplace, that is tied to values, ethics, different perspectives. Um, and you might really be surprised with these things, but they also bring some sort of transformation for you when it comes to your mentality and your belief system. Some of you might really be questioning whether your current routine aligns with your truth or purpose, whether you are on the right path, whether maybe you should let go of some sort of addiction or some sort of routine that does not serve you in the long run. Others of you, my dear Virgos, might really obsess around thinking whether you are on the right path when it comes to your direction. And when we have a connection here between the sixth and the ninth houses, it really makes you question whether your daily routines, like what you do on your day to day life, really can put you on that path, on that vision that you have for yourself. And so when we have the square here, it can indicate that you do notice some sort of changes that you need to make, some sort of transformation that you need to make, because maybe things are not functioning well for you. I would advise to take care of your physical health, maybe do some sort of detoxing around this time, just so that you can support your body. If things get very busy in your day-to-day life, and also if you experience some sort of power struggle at work, sorry. Okay, so now continuing in the sky, by the middle of the month, Venus is going to make that sextile to Jupiter that I absolutely love. Now, at the same time, other things are happening in the sky, but this transit here specifically can talk about opportunities that some of you will have due to your networks, your friendships, and communities. Venus and Jupiter are connected through the ninth and 11th houses, so a lot of you might meet people who inspire your growth and support your vision. You might also have beneficial connections, maybe related to education, travel, publishing, or content creation. Group of you might even have financial opportunities, maybe through social media, through groups, or collaborations. You might have some significant growth here, especially in your long-term goals, through learning, through teaching, through exploring new perspectives, through meeting benefactors, people that advise you, people that want to help you. Some of you might have big, major good karma repay here with that involvement of the ninth house in a way that it helps you fulfill your dreams and wishes that you have for the future. Some of you can have significant financial rewards here, maybe that come through your work, maybe from some sort of popularity, some sort of fame that you may be achieving as well. So good times could be coming around this sextile. Now, moving towards the end of the month, I would say April 23, April 24, this is when we have the conjunction between Venus and Uranus. So, of course, the energy is felt a few days before and a few days after. So, I would say the third week of April, we're going to feel this energy the most. And this conjunction here is going to bring sudden shifts in your belief systems, in your worldview and life direction. You might experience travel opportunities here that maybe you did not expect, or you might make some sort of spontaneous decision to go and explore somewhere new, go to a new place that you have never been before. Some of you might be breaking free maybe from outdated philosophies and society expectations, because now you have this desire for freedom, for authenticity, for even adventure, for intellectual stimulation. Others of you, again, I do see here surprising financial opportunities, maybe again connected to online platforms, to teaching, to reaching the masses, to have some global reach here that can really be shocking, can be surprising, and it kind of can shape your entire life direction here. You might experience some sort of attraction to people from different cultures and that speak different languages and that bring unique perspectives around this time. So be open to that if you've been wanting to build those kind of connections. But I feel like this conjunction here can be very powerful for you, my dear Virgos, because it is in a positive house for you, in a good aspect to your sign. It can really bring blessings back into your life. So I really hope that that's what you're going to experience. I wish you the best of luck, my dear Virgos, and I'll see you on the next video. Libra suns, moons, and risings. Venus is going to make some significant aspects this month, in the month of April. This is not a usual transit. It is going through your 8th house in the sign of Taurus, where it feels very strong, and it is very strong. But it's making a square to Pluto. And of course, you're going to feel this because Venus rules you as well. So the 10 days, this is when we're going to feel this energy the most, the first 10 days. But then as Venus moves into the sky, it is then going to make this beautiful, beautiful aspect to Jupiter, which is exalted in your 10th house, that I absolutely love. By the end of the transit, Venus will also make a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house for the last time here, because Uranus is moving to the sign of Gemini. So the next time we're going to have these two planets coming into a conjunction in the same area of your chart is going to be in 84 years. So completely different story. We're probably not going to see this or experience this transit again. But it can indicate that you're going to have a lot of significant things happening into your life. So let me break it down little by little. Again, my dear Libras, the first 10 days, we're going to have that square between Venus and Pluto, which is making a connection between your 8th house and your 5th house. I feel like a lot of you may experience intense emotional or sexual dynamics, maybe in romantic connection or creative connection as well. If you have a business partner, maybe you don't agree on things, there's power struggles here, maybe there's some sort of jealousy, control issues, fear issues as well. For some of you, this could be tied to maybe a romantic relationship, a marriage that you may have. There could be power struggles here in love that is related to similar things, jealousy, control, or fear of vulnerability. You might experience obsessive thoughts maybe about a romantic interest or situationship, so be aware of that kind of energy. Some of you might have some sort of deep confrontation, maybe with your desires versus your fear of loss or of rejection. That could be kind of more psychological. For a few of you, my dear Libras, this first 10 days can talk about financial tension as well, maybe involving shared money, shared resources, debts, or instruments and investments that are tied to risk. Any blockages that have caused some sort of emotional intensity are going to be removed now. You may have to confront some sort of fear again so that you can let go of these blockages. They need to be shed. They should not come with you. You need to let go, okay? Now, moving forward, a few days later, in the middle of the month, we're going to have Venus in a sextile to Jupiter. And I'm saying the middle of the month because even if I give the exact date, like you're not going to feel this energy only on the day off. You feel this like the 3 days before, 3 days after. So I would say in the middle of the month would be the perfect time that you're going to feel this the most. But Venus in a very dignified position here in the sign that it rules in Taurus. She's the queen of this house here, of this sign. It is very strong and it's making this sextile to Jupiter, which is also exalted. So now you have a connection between the 8th house and the 10th house, and this can be extremely, extremely positive for you, my dear Libras. You may be experiencing opportunities for financial growth through your career, through promotions, through some sort of public recognition. You may be receiving support from authority figures or mentors regarding shared resources, investments, regarding any 8th house matters. If there's been any type of crisis, you're going to have the support of somebody powerful. If there's any issues related to scandals or anything like that, you're going to receive some support from somebody powerful. You may definitely feel more empowered, more confident, more emotionally secure, especially in your professional settings as well. Some of you might have positive developments in contracts, in business deals, in collaborations. Again, very significant time for your profession. And also, you may be earning some sort of spotlight here, gaining some sort of spotlight. You may become an authority figure even in your career or job. And if you don't have a job or career, then this transit here can indicate that you are seen as somebody powerful in the eyes of the people that know you. You gain some sort of popularity. You're seen as strong and powerful. Okay, so moving forward, Venus is going to make a conjunction to Uranus around April 23, 24. So I would say the third week of April, we're going to feel this powerful conjunction here. Again, very significant. And of course, it's for you as well because you are ruled by Venus. But there's going to be some sort of sudden and unexpected change here when it comes to shared finances, debts, investments. For some of you, if you've been abusing some sort of power, then this conjunction here can talk about liberation, some sort of shocking event, surprising event that brings some sort of breakthrough. For others of you, this conjunction can talk about some sort of breakthrough in intimacy. Maybe you're going to explore new things with your significant other that can take you by surprise, but it can definitely feel liberating, exciting, and new. Something that maybe you haven't experienced before. You might have the strong desire as well for emotional and financial independence within your close connections. And some of you are going to actually achieve that. You might gain some sort of financial reward here, financial windfall, especially through other people's money. Maybe you're getting a tax return. Maybe you're getting alimony, child support. If you are in any situation like that, it can be extremely positive for some of you. There can be unexpected revelations, secrets, or truths coming to light as well under this conjunction, just so you know. And you may be breaking free from toxic attachments, from dependencies, from patterns. This is one last chance for a lot of you Libras to liberate yourselves from situations that maybe you've been stuck in for a long time. So it can be quite liberating. But this is what I have for you for this powerful transit here, unusual transit, I would say. My dear Libras, I wish you the best of luck, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Take care. My dear Scorpio, Scorpio suns, moons, and risings, Venus is making an unusual trip through the sign of Taurus. It is coming to a square to Pluto, which is sitting in the sign of Aquarius in your fourth house, indicating some sort of tension here. Pluto is your chart ruler after all. But then as it continues in the sky, it's going to make this wonderful sextile to Jupiter in Cancer in your ninth house. That can talk about some positive things that could be happening, situations, opportunities as well, because Venus is strong in the sign of Taurus, Jupiter is strong in the sign of Cancer. So the two benefics coming together in a powerful and positive aspect can indicate some good things coming your way. But as Venus continues in the sky by the third week of April, where it is going to make one last conjunction to Uranus in Taurus in your seventh house. And it can talk about the one last chance for a lot of you, my dear Scorpios, to liberate yourselves, especially when it comes to contracts, agreements, marriage, relationships, business partnerships, one-on-one relationships, and enemies. But let me break it down little by little. So, again, the first 10 days, I would say, Venus is going to be in a square to Pluto, the first 10 days of April. So from the 1st to the 10th, this is when we feel the energy the most. As Venus makes a square to Pluto, it's going to indicate that maybe there's some intense dynamics in relationships, especially tied to emotional security, to home, to family patterns. You might be discovering some sort of secret here that you did not know about before, that was maybe hidden for a very long time. Others of you may experience maybe power struggles with a partner of yours. Maybe it's a business partner, romantic partner. And you might be addressing issues regarding control, jealousy, or unresolved emotional wounds. Some of you might feel triggered around this time by how a partner mirrors your deepest fears and vulnerabilities. You might need to address and talk and conversate about these things and eventually build the right boundaries and have the right resolution, because And I think it's going to go in the right direction because again, Venus is moving positively in the sky in the next few days. And then even if when it moves into the sign of Gemini, it's going to still be in a conjunction to Uranus, but now it's making a positive aspect to the same Pluto. So I feel like whatever conversations and tension that is built now, it's actually going to be positive in the long run. Some of you might discover a family secret. You might have some some sort of secret related to your ancestry, to your parents, to your grandparents. Others of you might have to talk about finances that maybe you have shared with your family members. Whereas others of you, maybe you're going to have some sort of transformation here in your emotional world. Maybe you're going to realize that old family or childhood patterns are playing out in your current relationships, and therefore you need to make some sort of transformation here. Be aware of emotional intensity at home that could be affecting your partnerships or the other way around. Okay, so moving forward, Venus again is going to make that positive aspect to Jupiter. This is going to be in the middle of the month of April. We're going to feel this for about a week, I would say. And this is wonderful. This connection is between your 7th and 9th houses. It indicates that there's opportunities here for growth through relationships that expand your perspective. You might meet someone here who inspires you intellectually, spiritually, culturally. You might have a benefactor that maybe is helping you get some contract, some agreement in place, sign something important that could be life-changing for you. Others of you might have some sort of travel opportunity, learning opportunity, or some sort of new experience that strengthens your connection to somebody else. Others of you might be attracting people who reflect your growth and evolving mindset and kind of push you towards that as well. Great opportunities here to meet somebody that can change your life in a very positive way, that you might eventually get married to, or you might eventually have some sort of serious relationship, some positive relationship here. If you've been wanting to find somebody, this can be a time that you might run into someone that can be very positive for you in the long run. Okay, so now by the third week of April, April 23, April 24 to be exact, Venus is making that last conjunction to Uranus in your 7th house, and then you graduate. Then you're a free person. You made it through Uranus in the 7th house. I know it's been crazy and challenging because I'm a Taurus rising myself, so I've been through the same, similar things. But this last conjunction here, my dear Scorpios, is giving you one last chance to change and to shift something very significant in your relationships and partnerships. If you've been wanting to leave a relationship, this conjunction here might trigger something significant. If you've been wanting to start a new one, this conjunction here can also do the same. It can also bring opportunities to sign contracts, sign agreements, maybe enter a business partnership, maybe sign for a new job, maybe sign for a new rental property, right? Sign for a new mortgage. Anything that you put in paper, any contract that you put in place, this conjunction here can bring it to you. And again, it can be very sudden. Maybe you're not expecting it, but it can feel liberating and very exciting. Now, between the two planets here, Venus and Uranus, of course, Venus is the strongest planet. So I feel like it is going to come out more on the positive side. And remember what I said, that when Venus and Uranus move into the sign of Gemini, they're going to still be in a conjunction, but in positive aspects to Pluto and a positive aspect to Neptune and Saturn. So I feel like this is going to go great. So I really hope that you're going to get some sort of partnership here, or something important when it comes to some sort of contract and agreement that could be exciting for you, life-changing. It's going to change your relationships and contracts forever. So I hope you're getting what you need. This is what I have for you, my dear Scorpios. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Sagittarius suns, moons, and risings. Venus is making a significant transit here in the sign of Taurus in the month of April. First, that is going to start with a square to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, indicating some sort of tension, some sort of transformation that needs to take place. But as it continues in the sky, it's going to be in a sextile to Jupiter. And Venus is in a very powerful and strong position here. Jupiter also is in a very strong position, exalted in the sign of Cancer. Cancer. So we're going to have the two benefics coming together in a positive aspect to each other. And I feel like a lot of you are going to experience here some very important blessings that you're going to maybe go back to for a very long time. Now, as Venus continues in the sky, it is going to make one last conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Taurus in your sixth house at the 29th degree, and it's giving one last chance to a lot of you Sagittarius to maybe change your habits, change your daily routine, liberate yourself from responsibilities that you don't want for yourself anymore. But let me break down this energy little by little and in a chronological order. So, on those 10 first days of April, April 1st to the 10th, I feel like we're going to feel this square between Venus and Pluto a little bit stronger. There might be some sort of tension in your workplace for some of you, maybe driven by communication issues, misunderstandings, or power struggles. Some of you might have obsessive thinking about work problems or daily responsibilities, or you might even experience some sort of conflict here with coworkers, clients, or people in your immediate environment. So be aware of this kind of energy and kind of be careful with taking care of your mental health during this time. Some of you might be realizing that certain habits, certain routines, certain thought patterns maybe have been toxic to you or self sabotaging. So you might have this need to maybe transform how you communicate and think about your work, about your daily responsibilities, your chores, and things that you have to basically do on your daily basis. Gossip, manipulation, even hidden agendas can also surface in your daily environment, so be aware of that. You might feel pressure to maybe change your workflow, your schedule, or habits in a very significant way as well. So again, this is going to be on the first 10 days of the month. But then as Venus continues in the sky, it is now forming that beautiful sextile to Jupiter, making a connection between your 6th and 8th houses. So I feel like a lot of you Sagittarians here might have some strong opportunities for improvement in when it comes to your finances, your shared resources, or benefits through your work. You might really receive some sort of support from other people that will help ease your workload or responsibilities. Some of you may be healing your relationship with work in general, meaning that you'll find more balance and emotional fulfillment. Or you might implement some positive changes in health routines that feel more nurturing and sustainable. Some of you might have this feeling of being supported, both practically and emotionally in your daily responsibilities. It could be maybe that the partner that you live with, they help you in your daily chores. It could be that a coworker helps you on your daily load. So you're receiving support on your day-to-day life. You're basically sharing the stress and the load together. Some of you are working actively towards achieving some sort of financial goal here. Especially if it is regarding making money through other people's money. Beautiful for letting go of toxic habits, beautiful energy for letting go of self-sabotaging habits. You can implement something wonderful here on your day-to-day life that can be very transformative for you emotionally and psychologically. Okay, so moving into the sky and into the month, Venus is going to make that conjunction to Uranus around April 23, 24, depending where you are in the world. But I would say the third week of April, we're going to feel this conjunction a lot. So it's happening in your sixth house, and it's giving the opportunity to a lot of you Sagittarius to make drastic changes in your daily routine, to implement something that is balancing. And I feel like that sextile that Venus made to Jupiter between your 6th house and 8th house maybe ignite something in you that makes you realize that you need to liberate yourself from some sort of responsibility or workload that is not sustainable for you in the long run. You might have a sudden opportunity to change your job, to change your schedule, to change your daily routine. Maybe you're taking on new roles, maybe you're letting go of a role. There could be some drastic change here when it comes to your daily responsibilities at work. You might experience this deep desire to maybe break free from any boring, restricted, or outdated work patterns, and a lot of you are definitely going to do that. You may also experience some sort of shift in your health habits. Maybe you may be trying something new or radically different as well. This is what I have for you, my dear Sagittarians, for this significant transit. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. My dear Capricorn suns, moons, and risings, Venus is making a very significant transit here in the sign of Taurus this month in April. It first starts to make a square to Pluto, which is now transiting Aquarius in your second house. And after this, is going to make a sextile to Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. But Venus here is very strong in the sign of Taurus. It does rule this sign. And Jupiter at the same time is exalted in the sign of Cancer. So we have the two benefics coming in such a positive aspect in the sky in the middle of the month. And I feel like it can bring a lot of blessings to many of us. But then moving forward, we're going to have Venus coming to one last conjunction to Uranus, which is still in the sign of Taurus. And this is happening at the 29th degree, and it's giving everybody one last opportunity to liberate ourselves from something significant. But for you, my dear Capricorns, it is tied to your fifth house matters. So let me break down all these transits and energy little by little. Going back to the beginning of the month when Venus makes that square to Pluto, I feel like a lot of you might be experiencing intense desires, maybe in romance, in dating, or creative expression that really feels all consuming. If you've been seeing somebody romantically, you might have this strong desire to become intimate with them, to get in the bedroom and do something that is all consuming again, but they can feel very obsessive, very intense. For others of you, this energy can show up maybe like power struggles, especially around money, around pleasure, especially with a romantic interest. And then if others of you have children, there could be power struggles here regarding finances that you might share with them. Some of you might have the strong desire maybe to spend for fun, to spend and show your luxuries to a romantic interest, for some sort of validation. Others of you might spend some money here to build a business, to transform it, to empower your business if you have one. There might be some sort of obsessive attraction that somebody else could have towards you under this energy, or it could be the other way around, that maybe you get obsessed with somebody else. Some of you might have an experience here that makes you realize that maybe you have tied your worth and attention and validation to your success, to your finances, to your money. So this square here can indicate that maybe you shouldn't put a price on your worth, that you are way worth than anything that's material. But this square here can talk about the some sort of insecurity that is coming from flashing and showing financial resources. Okay, so now moving forward, in the middle of the month, we're going to have Venus in that sextile to Jupiter, which is my favorite transit of the month. Everything else is crazy this month, but this one here is so beautiful. Again, we're going to have some sort of opportunity here for you, my dear Capricorns, especially in your romantic relationships and partnerships. Maybe some of you, again, during that Venus Pluto square, you're gonna feel possessive and jealous of your romantic partner, and maybe you'll realize your worth and their worth, and you're gonna take that relationship to the next level. So this sextile here can talk about having experiences that feel supportive, expansive, and aligned with your values with a significant other. There could be maybe some creative project here that will gain some sort of recognition and support through other people. So if you launch something important, something that you've been working towards, it can really be taken in a very positive way. Some of you maybe will have financial windfalls, especially if you are involved in those things with a partner. And generally speaking, you may be experiencing very, but very positive developments in your love life and your public image and career. People will be attracted to you for your talents, for your beauty, for your courage, and your desire to grow. And I feel like you're gonna have some sort of harmony here, a sense of harmony between your personal joy and your connection with other people. Any type of collaborations that you decide to do, they're definitely gonna feel very enjoyable and rewarding. Okay, so around April 23 and 24, depending where you are in the world, we're going to have that conjunction between Venus and Uranus. And this is where a lot of you, I feel like a lot of you might be experiencing this massive shift in how you express yourself. You may do so in a more bold, unique, and unapologetic way. If you have a business, you might have some sort of spotlight here that can just bring so many clients and customers your way. It can be shocking, it can be surprising. Maybe you may be reaching the masses and in a way that you definitely did not expect. You might get this massive recognition for your talents as well, because you may be choosing your passion and authenticity over any like control or any like society expectations, I would say. So this can be very profitable for a lot of you. You may also have this massive windfall in finances through risky investments, especially. But of course, you have to consult and look at your personal chart, because that will give you the bigger picture. This is just a general reading, but whenever these two planets come together in the fifth house, you can talk about this massive opportunity to make money in a risky way, gambling, lotto, like surprising ways, basically. So yeah, this is what I have for you, my dear Capricorns. I wish you the best of luck during this transit, and I'll see you on the next video. Aquarius suns, moons, and risings. Venus is making a significant transit through the sign of Taurus this month in April. It is going to come to a square to Pluto in the first 10 days, but then as it moves into the sky, it's going to make a powerful sextile to Jupiter, which is exalted in the sign of Cancer. So we're going to have the two benefics coming together in dignified positions, indicating that a lot of us will receive some wonderful blessings here in the middle of the month. But then, as Venus continues in the sky, it is going to make this last conjunction to Uranus in the sign of Taurus, as if it wants to tell us that we have one last chance at in making this drastic change, this drastic breakthrough that could be life changing, and it can take us and other people by surprise. These two planets are not going to come together in the sign of Taurus in the next 84, 85 years. So whatever could be happening right now, it is going to be, I feel like, one last huge change that we're going to be having. And for you, this is going to be tied to your fourth house. But let me break down the energy in a chronological order. So, for a lot of you Aquarians, the month will start with some sort of power struggle here. Maybe a power struggle with your family members. They can feel deeply personal. You might feel a little attacked in your personality, I have to say, with this square here. Or it could be that a family member gets triggered by you. So there's power struggles here, confrontations. For others of you, this square here can indicate some sort of family secret being brought to the surface that can create tension in your home environment. For others of you, you might have this strong desire, maybe under this energy, to protect your privacy, to withdraw in solitude while processing heavy emotions. You might be reinventing your sense of self, maybe through confronting your past, confronting your fears, confronting self sabotaging patterns. You might be shedding a version of yourself here under this energy. There could be a family member here that could be going under some sort of crisis, and you kind of need to be there for them, but their crisis kind of affects you too, or the other way around, my dear Aquarians. You might have this strong desire and need to maybe reclaim your power by setting strong emotional boundaries with your family members. I feel like that's going to be the biggest thing and the biggest lesson for a lot of you. There could be power struggles regarding home, real estate, a house, an inherited house for some of you if you're in that kind of situation, but that will be resolved soon. And I feel like it's going to be resolved in the last week of April, when Venus moves into the sign of Gemini and it forms a trine to Pluto. So moving forward, in the middle of the month, Venus again is making this sextile to Jupiter, and this is a extremely positive aspect. This is the best transit, I think, for the month of April. I feel like everything else is so crazy, but this one can talk about some good dynamics here. You may be creating a more peaceful and supportive home environment that improves your well-being. It could be that maybe those family conversations and confrontations that you had in the first part of the month have brought you to understand that you need to make some positive changes, maybe in your daily routines, that bring some sort of emotional stability to you. You might implement things that make you feel more nurtured, more grounded, and aligned in your day to day life. There could be opportunities to work from home here or to improve your work life balance. Any sort of support here that you may be receiving can translate into better health, better productivity. You might feel very good, like to spend time at home. You might feel you enjoy in doing like chores and like simple things, simple tasks in your home environment at home. It just can bring you can find joy in the simplicity of things here. For others of you, this sextile here can talk about maybe serving somebody else, or especially a family member, or they could be the ones that are serving you, and you're kind of strengthening that bond that you have to that other individual. And again, it's bringing blessings your way as well. You might be letting go of some sort of addiction for some of you Aquarians under this energy that is really going to support you in your physical health. Okay, so as we move forward in the sky, Venus is going to make a conjunction to Uranus again around April 23, 24, depending where you are in the world. But this is happening in your fourth house, and it can indicate that there will be sudden, unexpected changes in your home, in your living situation, and family dynamics. Okay, my dear Aquarians, like this is the message that I have for you. A lot of you are going to have one last chance to move, to relocate, to go somewhere else. If you've been wanting to make that move for a very long time, this is going to be your green button. A last chance to change and shift and move somewhere else. Maybe change your apartment, change your house, change your city, town, country, continent. You can make a drastic change here. For others of you, this conjunction can bring this strong desire to break free from any restricted or outdated emotional patterns. You might even have unexpected events with family members that will shift your perspective. It could be that you find out some sort of family secret that takes you by surprise, or it could be that you are the one exposing some family secret that takes your family members by surprise. Here you can maybe let go of attachments as well that no longer serve you, especially that are tied to childhood conditioning, and how you basically grew up. So some good emotional liberation here, emotional freedom, I would say. Okay, this is what I have for you, my dear Aquarians. I wish you the best of luck under this transit, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Hello, my dear Pisces suns, moons, and risings. Venus is transiting through your third house, and in the first part of this transit, it is going to square Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house. Venus here is very strong in the sign of Taurus, and by the middle of this transit, it will be in a sextile to Jupiter in Cancer, which is also exalted in your 5th house. This can indicate that you're going to be receiving a lot of blessings, but I'll be talking about it here in a minute. By the end of the transit, though, Venus will make one last conjunction to Uranus in Taurus in your 3rd house. And this conjunction is happening in the 29th degree, talking about some powerful breakthrough that could be happening for a lot of you. So let me break this energy down in more detail. So going back to the first 10 days of April 1st, April 10th, I feel like we're going to experience this energy the most between Venus and Pluto, that they're forming a square, a tense aspect with each other. You might experience here, my dear Pisces, some sort of intense or obsessive thought patterns. You may be overanalyzing conversations, messages, interactions. For some of you, there could be hidden fears or subconscious triggers that could be influencing you in how you communicate, how you think, and how you perceive situations. For some of you, there could be secrets, there could be unspoken feelings or suppressed thoughts that could be coming to the surface that will take you by surprise. Or it could be power struggles in communication. You might either be holding back or you might be feeling maybe controlled or manipulated. But you will know who's doing what, and the why. There could be difficult situations here that reveal deeper emotional or psychological layers that could be like an aha moment for you, but it's basically giving you the chance to kind of understand what you need to let go psychologically, especially when it comes to self-sabotaging things, so that you can kind of shed some sort of layers here and embrace a pure and healed version of yourself. Now, again, moving forward in the sky, Venus is making that beautiful aspect to Jupiter, making a connection between your third house and fifth house. If you are in the writing industry, speaking, content creation, any industry dealing with transactions, sales, car sales, transportation, this transit here can talk about some very positive outlets, or very positive outcomes. I'm sorry, that's the right word. Very positive outcomes that you might be getting from this sextile. You might get some sort of spotlight, you might get some sort of positive news or opportunities related to any creative projects and passions that you have. If you have a business, this can talk about clients and customers coming your way. You come across as very positive, you can get a lot of spotlight here. All your conversations can be a little more flirtatious, more lighthearted, more enjoyable. You might be feeling more confident to share your ideas and thoughts more openly. You could be interacting with people that bring the best out of you, bring out the fun and the playful part of you, and you can have meaningful conversations and communications with them. Some of you under the sextile here are going to go maybe in a short distance trip with a romantic interest, or you could be going with one of your children. Some of you might even buy a car under this sextile, and you may be doing so with your business money or money that you made by risky investments as well. Some of you might get some good news regarding some financial situation that you are going to be super happy about. If you have been wanting to learn something, you can definitely do that under this energy. It will bring a lot of excitement and it will open a lot of doors for you. Something beautiful could be happening in the life of one of your children as well. Okay, so moving forward in the sky, Venus is going to come to a conjunction to Uranus on April 23, 24, depending where you are in the world. But basically the third week of April, that's when we're going to feel this the most. And this is happening in your third house. So here, my dear Pisces, you have one sudden insight, one last sudden insight and breakthrough or aha moment in your thinking patterns. You might decide to speak more freely, more boldly, or in a more unpredictable way than usual. You might be breaking out of limiting thought patterns or communication habits. Some of you might experience surprising encounters maybe in your local environment or online spaces. You might get some sort of unexpected message or conversation or news that kind of shifts your perspective as well. You might have this strong desire to maybe express yourself in a more authentic and unconventional way. And you might have this innovative idea, especially around writing, media, technology, all those industries that I mentioned earlier, that can bring some shocking rewards. A lot of you maybe are going to spend money in short distance travel. Maybe you're going to spontaneously travel to a place that can bring a lot of fun and joy in your life. Others of you maybe are going to buy a car. Again, if you didn't buy it in that Venus sextile Jupiter transit, maybe you're going to buy it during this time. And then for others of you, you're going to heal your mental system here. I feel like Uranus in the third house has really made you feel mentally overstimulated. So this conjunction here is like one last liberation. Maybe you're gonna have an aha moment when it comes to your thinking patterns and understanding your own brain and how it works, and you're gonna liberate yourself from something that you didn't notice about your thoughts before, and it can feel like a breath of fresh air. This is what I have for you, my dear Pisces. I'm sorry, my throat is like super scratchy because you're the last sign, so I'm barely finishing my sentences, but I wish you the best of luck under this transit, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Take care.